Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Glenn Kirshner, our friend, who you're valiantly filling in for today, who's headed to San Francisco for us. He was talking about this Truth Social post. He said if Donald Trump is posting something, there's a good chance he's confessing to something. His claim that he's untouchable, even if he were to do things that cross the line. He said Trump said even events that cross the line must fall under total immunity. This is Donald Trump demanding immunity for himself, even when Donald Trump is admitting, maybe I stepped a toe over the criminal line, minor violation of some of our nation's law. What's a little light felony between friends? If I were a prosecutor, I'd take a government exhibit sticker and go ahead and slap it on Donald Trump's latest admission and keep it in my back pocket. Obviously, the damages in E.Jean Carroll seem to be going up in real time as he is continuing to defame her on Truth Social in court. I mean, So talk about this whole immunity claim, because it just, again, it does seem to get more ridiculous by the day.
Yeah. So again, I don't think this has any legal merit to it whatsoever. There is perhaps, as Glenn says, a tacit admission there that he crossed the line. Like, even if I did cross the line, folks. Oh, right. Well, did you? He also, in that same Truth Social media post, he says, I should be treated like police officers and have immunity. He is wrapping himself in the garb of law and order to defeat the rule of law. Yeah. What a warped sentiment this is. And I think he is trying to get those people who support the police, I'm one of them, to say, well, the police get immunity and I should too. But let's step back for a second. The police only get a qualified immunity if they're doing their job in good faith, in the scope, and somehow they exceed that. They make a mistake. They searched the wrong house, but they believed in good faith that it was the right house. Then they're protected. But if they exceed the scope, if they shoot an unarmed person in bad faith, they can be criminally prosecuted. And the same is true of the president. And so that's
not what he argued, right? He said, no, a rogue cop should get total immunity too.
Yeah. Yes. And I think he is trying to wrap himself in that cloak of law and order and turning it on its head. I think he's hoping that his supporters will say, oh, yeah, I support the police, so I should support Donald Trump too.
Yeah, I support the police being beaten with Blue Lives Matter.
Violating their duties, right?
Yeah, on January 6th. Let's talk about the book quickly before we go. I just thought this is so perfect the way it's summarized. McQuade shows how American society is more polarized than ever before, strategically pushed apart by disinformation. It's endangering our democracy, causing havoc in our electoral system, schools, hospitals, workplaces, in our capital. You can be sure we'll be seeing a lot more of it in the run-up to the election and as Trump's criminal cases play out. We're 4 years in, Barb. I just got COVID traveling back from a trip over the holidays, even though I'm fully vaxxed and I'm masked everywhere. Everyone else didn't. And so, you're absolutely right. This is playing out this disinformation. It's not just about legal stuff. It's about everything, science, facts. Talk to us about where the book came from in your heart and soul, and what you want to.
Yeah. So I teach a course on national security and civil liberties, and I started talking about the Mueller investigation into Russian disinformation in 2016 in my class. And I became absolutely fascinated with the topic as I dug into it more and more. What began as a Russian disinformation campaign to harm its hostile adversary, the United States, has now been co-opted by Americans who are using the same tactic against us for political gain, but it is having a terrible result on our society. It is harming our democracy. We're seeing laws passed making it harder to vote based on a lie that there's election fraud. Yeah. It's harming public safety with vigilante violence, breaking into the home of Nancy Pelosi and threatening to harm public officials, all these swatting incidents. All that is driven by disinformation. And then finally, the rule of law. We need to resolve our differences in courts. And people like Donald Trump with their disinformation are sowing doubt and harming public confidence in our legal system. All of it is harmful. So I hope to just educate the public and raise awareness of this tool as an effort to sort of arm ourselves against it.
And Barbara, it's so important in this book, and not just, the most important election year of our lives, I think, but maybe the last one, if democracy falls and fascism is we sleepwalk into it, because, all the things you talk about, it's going. Russian disinformation, they push the anti-vax stuff. They, they funded and trained Hamas. They're pushing any kind of division, among Americans on all of these issues going into this election year. So it is critical, I think, that people buy this book. That's the only way to save America, is my point,
absolutely.
Barb. That's my point.
Thank you.
It is Attack from Within, How Disinformation is Sabotaging America. Barb, thanks so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Stephanie. Be well. Hope you recover quickly.
And thank you for being old enough to know what a blue book is.
Yeah.
And what pens down means. Pens down.
Thanks, Barb.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.